It's been a while, and we have truly missed you during the break occasioned by the rising cost of alternative power with which we reach out to you every week. While the situation persists, we appeal to the authorities to do the needful in order to salvage the lives and livelihood of Nigerians who depend on power supply to survive. It is on this festive note that we welcome you all to another edition of this wonderful program on radio, Education Today. Education Today is a program that aims to call the attention of the public to education matters as they affect the effective running of the educational system and the achievement of educational goals. This comes on air every Saturday on this station, Light Radio.
Our goal is to educate, inform, orientate, and entertain the society on educational matters, address issues affecting the educational system, influence public opinion, and drive effective education policy. Directions to guide the formulator and implementers. For your comment, question, and contribution, you can reach us on Facebook via www.facebook.com/lightradio, Twitter @lightradio, Instagram @lightradio, YouTube Light Radio. You can also call or send a message to us via SMS or WhatsApp on 08097384000. We are dedicating today's episode to two people who we hold very dear to our hearts.
Exactly. And the first of them is Damilola Afunleyin, one of our crew members who's graduating from the National Open University of Nigeria now today with BSc Mass Communications. Congratulations, Dami, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors, praying that you will find God's favor in the labor markets.
Secondly, on a rather sad note, we dedicate today's episode to the memory of a fan, listener, and well-wisher of education today, late Zainab Adebisi Abdusalam, who passed away on Thursday, 11th April 2024. Until her demise, late Abdusalam was a master's student in Department of Education Management in the University of Lagos. We pray God forgive her sins, admit her into the mercy, and give her husband, infant, baby, and the entire Abdusalam family the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss.
Right now, we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, the program continues in full swing. Please stay with us.
If you are just joining in, you are listening to Education Today on Light Radio. We kick off with a new segment with Nima. Hello, Nima.
Hello, good afternoon, Aisha. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the news on Education Today, reaching you live from Light Radio. I am Nima Ibrahim. First, the headlines. Noun awards degrees to 22,175 students. Salary arrears. SANU, NASU members will get half pay, says federal government. 2024 UTME, JAM asks candidates to print notification slip. And on the foreign scene, 15 universities announced staff layoffs, course closures due to reduced overseas enrollment in the UK. Now the details. National Open University of Nigeria is set to award various degree certificates to 22,175 undergraduate and postgraduate students on Saturday. The Vice Chancellor of NAM, Professor Olufemi Peters, disclosed this on Monday in Abuja at a press briefing ahead of the 13th convocation ceremony of the university scheduled for today. According to Peters, of the 22,175 students to be awarded certificates, 15,798 are for undergraduate degrees, while 6,407 are for postgraduate degrees, with the Faculty of Social Sciences having the largest number of graduates. Furthermore, out of these undergraduates, we have 22 of them with first class, about 1,886 with second class upper, about 8,427 with second class lower, and about 3,782 with third class, and a few pass. Also, the Vice Chancellor announced that two eminent Nigerians, founder of Innocent Motors, Innocent Chukuma, and Ajia Afsatu Abdulwaid, would be conferred with honorary doctorate degrees. It concluded by listing various achievements recorded by the university within the last year, which include the massive deployment of technology in the delivery of lectures in the 120 study centers across the country, among others. Similarly, the VC assured that first degree graduates of the National Open University of Nigeria (NOUN) will soon start participating in the National Youth Service Corps NYSC scheme, as he noted that the university was currently engaging the management of NYSC, and to that effect, graduates deemed to have qualified to serve would be mobilized. The federal government members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities (NASANU) and the Non-Academic Staff Union (NASU) will get half of their withheld salaries should President Bola Tinubu approve the payment of the salary arrears. The Minister of Education Tahir Mamman stated this on a live TV interview on Wednesday. According to Maman, the non-academic staff members of the universities were not on strike for the same period in 2022 as their academic counterparts, but that the government has been doing everything possible to get a relief for them. Speaking on the claim of discrimination by NASU and SANU, the minister said that cannot be right. There is no rating. These are people working in the same terrain. They're doing different things but all working towards the same goal. End of quote. Recall that in March, SANU and NASU members embarked on a one-week warning strike to protest the withheld salaries while berating the federal government for paying withheld salaries to the Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASU) while neglecting the non-academic unions. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAM) has asked all candidates who have registered for the 2024 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME), scheduled to commence on Friday, 19th April 2024, to proceed to print the examination notification slip. Spokesperson of JAMB, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, conveyed this in a statement on Thursday in Abuja. The board said the 2024 UTME notification slip, which shows candidates the date, venue, and time of the examination, is now ready for printing. He urged the candidates to print their notification slips before Friday, 19th April, to know the date, venue, and time of their respective examinations, as well as some other vital information regarding the examination. The 2024 UTME is scheduled to commence on Friday, 19th and end on Monday, 29th April 2024. The Senate has ordered the management of the University of Abuja, Uni Abuja, to reinstate with immediate effect the two final-year students of the institution, Mr. Cyprian Igwe and Olamilekan Oladeru, who were expelled last year by the university authorities for allegedly inciting fellow students to protest the proposed hike in tuition fee in the institution. The duo were student leaders and just finished their final year examinations and awaiting results when they were expelled from the university for the alleged offense. Igwe was the director of social and culture of the university's Students' Union Government (SUG), while Oladeru was the director of sports, also of the SUG, and were both in high academic grades. Dissatisfied with the expulsion, which they described as gross injustice, they petitioned the upper chamber through Victor Ume, a senator representing Anambra Central District, asking the lawmakers to intervene on the matter and prevail on the university authorities to reinstate them in order not to punish for an offense they did not commit. Igwe also told reporters that the Senate had directed the management of Uni Abuja, after listening to both sides, to reinstate graduates and mobilize them for the one-year mandatory National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) program. And on the foreign scene, at least 15 universities in the United Kingdom have publicly announced staff layoffs and course closures prompted by a significant decline in overseas postgraduate student enrollments this past January. This is directly related to the UK government's stance on reducing international student numbers. Thus, concerns are now mounting that undergraduate student recruitment may also decline in the upcoming academic year, exacerbated by the ongoing cost of living crisis. Also, reports have it that the higher education landscape in the United Kingdom has seen many universities, ranging from prestigious Russell Group universities to mid-tier universities and Scottish institutions, issuing alerts about potential cost reductions and staff layoffs, while certain higher education institutions, particularly those established after the conversion of polytechnics to universities in 1992 appear to have experienced remarkable growth last year. That's all on the news for today, but before we go, a quick recap of the major stories. Now awards degrees to 22,175 students. Salary arrears. SANU, NASU members will get half pay, says federal government. 2024 UTME, JAM asks candidates to print notification slip. And on the foreign scene, 15 universities announced staff layoffs, course closures due to reduced overseas enrollments in the UK. And that's the news. It was compiled by Nima Ibrahim and edited by OLUBUNMI KAZEEM. Don't forget, for the coverage of your educational events, seminars, fairs, trainings, competitions, among others, you can call us on 0702-507-4268, or you can send us an email via educationmediaservices@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Education Today continues in a moment. Please stay with us. Welcome back. That's all we can take on the news for today. And right now, we'll take the country in focus with Mr. OLUBUNMI. Good afternoon, Mr. OLUBUNMI.
Good afternoon, Nima. Good afternoon, listeners. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome to the Country in Focus segment where we consider a particular country of the world, its basic features, and most importantly, its educational system for the benefit of our listeners. I am OLUBUNMI KAZEEM. Today, the country in focus is South Africa. South Africa is located at the southern tip of the African continent as a diverse and vibrant country with a rich history and cultural heritage. It is known for its stunning landscapes, diverse wildlife, and significant contributions to art, literature, and music. South Africa is often referred to as the Rainbow Nation due to its multicultural society, which encompasses a blend of indigenous, African, European, Asian, and other influences. The history of South Africa is marked by periods of colonialism, apartheid, and struggle for freedom and equality. Colonized by the Dutch in the 17th century and later by the British, South Africa experienced centuries of racial segregation and discrimination under apartheid, a system of institutionalized racial segregation and oppression. The apartheid regime was dismantled in the early 1990s following years of resistance and activism led by figures such as Nelson Mandela, leading the country's transition to democracy and the establishment of a new inclusive government. Today, South Africa is a democratic republic with a constitution that guarantees fundamental rights and freedoms for all citizens. It has a diverse economy that includes agriculture, mining, manufacturing, tourism, and service sectors. Despite its progress since the end of apartheid, South Africa faces socio-economic challenges such as poverty, inequality, unemployment, and crime, which continue to impact the lives of many of its people. Educationally, education plays a crucial role in the social and economic development of South Africa, serving as a key tool for empowerment, social mobility, and nation building. The country's educational landscape reflects its complex history, with disparities in access, quality, and outcomes across different racial, economic, and geographic lines. South Africa has a three-tiered education system comprising primary education for grades R to 7, secondary education for grades 8 to 12, and tertiary education, which is post-secondary. Primary and secondary education is compulsory and provided free of charge at public schools, while tertiary education includes universities, colleges, and vocational training institutions. Despite progress in expanding access to education since the end of apartheid, South Africa's educational system faces significant challenges, including inadequate infrastructure and resources in many schools, particularly in rural and disadvantaged areas, persistent inequalities in access to quality education with disparities along racial and socioeconomic lines, high dropout rates, especially at the secondary school level, due to factors such as poverty, violence, and lack of support. Shortages of qualified teachers, particularly in subjects such as mathematics and sciences. Inequality in language of instruction, with English predominating in many schools, disadvantaging students whose first language is not English. So the South African government has implemented various initiatives and reforms aimed at improving the quality and inclusivity of the education system. This includes the provision of free basic education for all children up to grade 9, the introduction of curriculum reforms to promote critical thinking, problem solving, and digital literacy skills, investment in infrastructure, development and provision of resources to schools in disadvantaged areas, efforts to increase access to early childhood development (ECD) programs and improve the quality of ECD services, as well as scholarships, bursaries, and financial aid programs to support access to higher education for students from low-income backgrounds. South Africa has a diverse higher education sector that includes universities, universities of technology, and colleges. The country's universities are known for their research and academic excellence, with several institutions ranked among the top in Africa and globally. Challenges in higher education include funding constraints, capacity limitations, and issues related to transformation and inclusivity. In conclusion, while South Africa's education system has made significant strides in expanding access and opportunities since the end of apartheid, considerable challenges remain in ensuring quality, equity, and inclusivity for all learners. Continued investment in education, along with targeted reforms and interventions, is essential to address these challenges and unlock the full potential of South Africa's people and economy. That's it on Our Country in Focus this week. I am OLUBUNMI KAZEEM. Education Today continues in a moment. Please don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. That was the country in focus, and right now we'll take the profession of the week. That was the country in focus, and right now we'll take the profession of the week, looking at cinematography with Aisha.
Good day and welcome again to the segment for the profession of the week. I am Aisha Hussein. Here, we x-ray a particular professional field of human endeavor within the education sector, and I'll be telling you what it is about. The knowledge and educational qualification required for admission into the tertiary institution, years of training required, and schools that have the accreditation to offer these courses. On today's segment, we have a special field of study to consider. Please come along with me. Cinematography. Cinematography encompasses the art and technique of capturing movie images on film and digital media. It involves the use of camera, lighting, composition, and visual storytelling to create compelling visuals that convey the narrative and emotional essence of a film or video production. Cinematography, also known as director of photography, play a pivotal role in translating the director's vision into cinematic reality, employing various creative and technical skills to achieve desired aesthetic and thematic effects. Careers in cinematography. Careers in cinematography offer a diverse range of opportunity for individuals passionate about visual storytelling and filmmaking. Cinematographers work across various genres and formats, including feature film, television shows, documentaries, commercials, music videos, and web series. They collaborate closely with directors, producers and art director, and other creative professionals to bring stories to life through the lens of the camera. Additionally, cinematographers may specialize in specific areas such as camera operation, lighting design, Steadicam operation, or area cinematography, depending on their interest and expertise. According to the American Bureau of Labor Statistics, cinematographers fall under the broader category of film and video editors and camera operator. As of May 2020, the median annual wage for the film and video editor and camera operator was $59,810. However, salaries can vary significantly based on factors such as experience, location, industry, and project budget. Experienced cinematographers working on high-profile production or in major entertainment hubs like Los Angeles or New York may command substantially high salaries, while those starting out in the industry or working on independent projects may earn less. Additionally, freelancers may have more fluctuating income based on the availability of work and the rates negotiated for each project. Overall, cinematography can offer fulfilling and rewarding careers for individuals with a passion for visual storytelling and a dedication to mastering the craft of capturing captivating images on screen. As an aspiring cinematographer in Nigeria, you generally have two options. You can choose to attend conventional universities and study theater arts or related courses where extensive coursework related to film editing, video editing, and cinematography are covered. Ultimately, you graduate with a Bachelor of Art in Cinematography. Some of the universities where you can obtain these degrees include University of Lagos, Akoka, as Theatre Art, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, as Theatre Art, Covenant University, Ota, as Film and Video Studies. Qualifying for these programs at this university requires that you obtain the required O-level and SSC result and pass the mandatory subject. This will typically include English language, theatre arts, and any other subject as specified by the university on their website. Alternatively, you may attend a film institute where you can acquire expertise in cinematography in usual or shorter time. There are numerous film institutes in Nigeria. National Film Institute, NFI Ikoyi Lagos, is a renowned institution that offers a well-rounded cinematography program. The curriculum covers both theoretical and practical aspects of the cinematography, enabling students to develop a strong foundation. The school boasts state-of-the-art facilities, including modern film studios, editing suites, and equipment. Students also have access to experienced instructors who are professionals in the industry. Nigerian Film Institute, NFI, Jos. The Nigerian Film Institute in Jos is another excellent choice for aspiring cinematographers. Their curriculum focuses on various aspects of filmmaking, including cinematography, script writing, and post-production techniques. With well-equipped studios and production units, students gain hands-on experience in shooting and editing films. The faculty consists of high-skilled professionals who guide and mentor students through their journey. Film School Nigeria. Film School Nigeria is a leading institute that offers specialized programs in cinematography. Their curriculum is designed to provide students with a thorough understanding of cinematographic techniques, cinematography history, and visual storytelling. The school is equipped with cutting-edge technology and offers practical training in professional environment. Students have the opportunity to network with industry experts and participate in internship with renowned production companies. And that's all for today on Profession of the Week. I am Aisha Hussein. Education Today continues. Don't go anywhere.
ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń tẹni gíga ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní ìdèpò ọ̀la ẹ̀dàkúnyé ẹ̀yìn òbí wa tẹ́bà lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní tẹni gíga. lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ wá.
You're still on to Education Today on Light Radio, and right now we are moving into the discuss segment, and our guest is very much here with us. Today we will be discussing outstanding issues in Nigeria's education. Who would tell the president? The topic once again is outstanding issues in Nigeria's education. Who would tell the president?
It's almost 11 months into the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. During the campaign and after his victory at the polls, many promises were made to Nigerians on the resolve to revamp the economy and improve the social status of citizens. Since his inauguration on May 29, 2023, many actions and decisions have been made. However, for the education sector, there are issues begging for his attention, of some arising from lingering issues predating his administration, which he promised to address, some bordering on immediate action after inauguration, and many other based on the manifesto of the president during the campaign. So, on the program today, we want to bring up some of these issues, hoping to find someone or some people who have the ears of the president for him to attend to them in order to improve the state of education across Nigeria.
And joining us on the program today, we have an educational administrator, lecturer, researcher, educational consultant, and our in-house analyst, Mr. OLUBUNMI KAZEEM. Good afternoon, Mr. KAZEEM.
Good afternoon, Nima, and good afternoon, Aisha. Good afternoon, our listeners. It's a pleasure to be here, as always.
As always, thank you. Don't forget, you can be part of the discourse by sending your comments and questions to 0809-738-4000. The number again is 0809-738-4000, or you can drop your comments via the live video feeds on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Before moving into the discourse proper, our short quiz question for today, for this edition, is which countries colonized South Africa? The question again is which countries colonized South Africa? You can send your answer to the WhatsApp number 0809-738-4000, or you can drop them as comments under our Facebook and YouTube live feeds. The first correct answer wins the prize. Now, quickly, without much ado, Mr. KAZEEM, you're welcome once again.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so I think we need you to provide a background to the major issues in Nigeria's education which require the urgent attention of the number one citizen of the country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
All right, thank you very much. And let me say that I will be drawing inspiration from a particular program that I actually watched, and that had to do with the former chief, spokesperson of the former vice president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. I'm talking about his, special aide, then Mr. Laolu Akande. He was also trying to raise some issues, and those ones are more of political and economic, and he was trying to address that. Who will tell the president? Now, bringing it to education. And I'm saying that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, after his victories, his victory in the election 2023, so much is expected of him, because he also promised that follow the person who knows the road. Yeah. I know the road.
Yeah, exactly.
So follow the person that knows the road. Now, it's 11 months into his administration. And I want to ask, Mr. President, there are so many things happening that actually require your attention as far as education is concerned, because education is very critical in achieving his renewed hope, agenda that he promised Nigerians. But there are so many things that we're seeing that I'm asking myself, do we truly have the president, aware? Is he really aware of what is going on as far as education is concerned?
Begs to be answered.
Now, this begs, for answers, because if truly he is aware of some of these things, and probably he's not attending to them, then something is wrong somewhere. It's either education is not on his priority, or that he doesn't really even understand what to do, and that would belie the claim that he knows the road. But I don't want to believe that's it. I want to believe probably that some of these issues are actually not being brought to his attention. And that's why I want to use this opportunity to help him.
Yes.
And we want to call on those who who are his handlers, and probably who are very close to him. And that's why we're challenging them. That who will tell the president that Nigeria has the highest population of out-of-school children in the world? Over 20 million children out of school. Now, if you're to look at that, let me bring it down. You're saying that of all in the world, we have about 100 million out-of-school children. So if you have over 20 million in Nigeria alone, it means out of every 5 out-of-school children in the world, one of them is a Nigerian. And out of the out-of-school population, out-of-school children that you have in West Africa, Nigeria records 45% of that figure. That's unacceptable. So who will tell the president that we have millions of children that are out of school? Who will tell the president that in addressing these out-of-school children, the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan established what we call Almajiri schools in the north?
Yes, it is.
Now, the person that succeeded him, President Muhammadu Buhari, his administration for 8 years abandoned that project, the Almajiri school project. And those schools, were there lying fallow, overgrown with bushes. So who will tell President Bola Tinubu that he needs to revisit such schools? At least probably that will be able to address some of these issues of out of school children. Now you're talking about this. Now who will tell the president that we have 100 billion naira as funds lying fallow in UBE Trust Fund that remain unaccessed by governors of over 20 states in Nigeria? We are complaining that we have over 20 million out of school children. Now, basic education is free in Nigeria, UBE. And unfortunately, you have governors that have failed to access these monies for over a decade. Now it has accumulated to over 100 billion naira, and it's just lying fallow there because they have failed to provide what is called a matching grant. The federal government is bringing these funds from Consolidated Revenue Fund of the federal government, and they're supposed to bring matching grants so that by the time they combine the two together, then they'll be able to access that fund. But unfortunately, they have failed to provide their own matching grant, and as such, they can't access that money. So that money, 100 billion naira, just schooling.
But are we even sure the money is still there?
The money is there. The money is there, lying fallow. And we are complaining that we don't have children in school. We have over 20 million that are children out of schools. We have dilapidated infrastructure across basic education, in the country. So who will tell the president? Now, tomorrow will be April 14. Now, it will mark 10-year anniversary of Chibok girls' abduction. Now, we still have that issue unresolved because we still have so many of these children. Some of them are still in captivity. Yes. 10 years down the line. So who will tell President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he needs to, put on his thinking cap and find solution, bring closure to the issue of the Chibok schoolgirls' abduction 10 years down the line? Now, we are also talking about the fact that the North is not even safe. In fact, not even just the North. The whole country is not safe because of kidnapping, abduction, and what have you, insurgency, militancy, and the likes like that. Now, last year, the IGP, Egbetokun, launched what he called the School Protection Squad. Yes. So who will tell President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that after that particular launch, the program has yet, the implementation, is yet to start? Now, we don't have the School Protection Squad operational across the Federation as we speak. So who will tell the president that School Protection Squad remains a pipe dream? Beyond that, let us go to the secondary schools. In Nigeria, we have what we call unity schools. There are over 100 of them across the Federation. Yes. Schools like King's College, Queen's College, federal government, colleges, federal government girls' colleges across the Federation. We call them unity schools. Now, who will tell the president that recruitment, there has been an embargo on recruitment in these schools for many years? So they cannot recruit teachers. Those that are old would retire and there will be no replacement. Now, if you go to this unity school, you have what we call PTA teachers. Imagine, they are not staff of the school, but they are recruited to work as teachers in the school and be paid by the PTA. So who will tell the president that we have, the issues of recruitment that are outstanding in the unity schools? Who will tell the president that we have promotional arrears, being old teachers in these unity schools? Who will tell the president that for all these unity schools, the implementation of teacher salary scale has not yet started? So they are not getting that. And we are talking about the fact that we want the best. These unity schools used to be the best of schools in Nigeria many years back. But where are they today? They have nothing to write home about. Who will tell the president for that to happen? There needs to be what we call a Federal Teachers Service Commission in these schools. So who will tell the president? Now let us probably leave that. Let's go to the higher education, because we have a whole lot happening at that level. A lot of issues. Now, under the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari, he set what we call the Nimi BRICS committee to actually meet with university unions and draft what we call reviewed conditions of service for university staff. Now, who will tell the president that 2 years down the line, that nothing has happened to the report of that particular committee which was submitted to the federal government? No, little wonder you continue to have strikes in our universities.
Yes, the academic and even the
now
non-academic
across
staff.
all unions, because the reality is that Nigerian university staff are the least paid, one of the least paid staff in the world. University staff, yes. Even in Africa, let me tell you, with the current exchange rate, we have academic staff in the universities who will earn less than $300 a month. A professor earns less than $300 in a month. That is not up to what some people, even unskilled labor, what they earn in a day in the United States of America. So who will tell the president that there is a need to address critical issues that has to do with salary arrears, stalled promotion, entitlement, and allowances, university autonomy, and meaningful wages among this university staff? Who will tell the president that because of this situation in the universities, we continue to have brain drain affecting our educational and health sectors? So who will tell the president that we are unable to retain our best of brains in Nigeria and everybody wants to japa? That's the term. So everybody wants to travel abroad. Yes. So who will tell the president that there is a need to really address the issue of brain drain in our tertiary institution sector? Now, who will tell the president? Now, he promised us student loan. Now, the loan act, the student loan act, has been reviewed by the National Assembly. Yeah. It has been amended and it has been signed into law by the president. But who will tell him that till today as I speak, the website is yet to come alive? Who will tell the president that students still do not have access to even register for this loan as of today? This is almost a year after he promised this particular policy. Now, it was on the basis of this that universities, federal universities across the federation, hiked their fees.
Yeah, it is.
And unfortunately, the fees were hiked and the students still could not have access to the student loan. So who will tell the president that Student Loan Act remains a work in progress and nothing that the students can say we can really boast of and give kudos to this particular administration? Who will tell the president that will say have the dichotomy in BSc and HND, among these graduates? Now, who will tell the president that unfortunately with this we are killing the technical education system in this country? We are killing the polytechnics. And unfortunately, who will tell him that unfortunately we have governors and even the federal government turning polytechnics into universities, as if polytechnics don't have their own purpose? So who will tell the president that till today we have an embargo on recruitment of staff even in federal universities since the days of former President Muhammadu Buhari? So what you're saying is that we continue to have a very terrible situation in terms of student staff ratio, student lecturer ratio. And this is one of the metrics used in ranking universities in the world. And unfortunately, let me tell you, the newest ranking of Times Higher Education for 2024 has just been released this month. And to shock you, Covenant University is the highest ranked university in Nigeria, a private university. This is the first time that it's happening. And one of the reasons is because they have favorable student staff ratio. And for any university that wants to compete globally, one of the things that you have to take care of is the student staff ratio. You have many students and you have fewer staff. The older ones are retiring and you are unable to replace them. The younger ones are even leaving, resigning, because you don't have enough welfare package that could actually attract and retain them in the university sector. So who will tell the president this? Beyond that is the fact that despite the fact that Federal Executive Council, December 2023, approved the removal of federal tertiary institutions from the IPPIS platform, who will tell the president that till today, April 13, the universities remain on IPPIS platform, thereby flouting the resolution and the decision of the Federal Executive Council? So who will tell the president that that is happening? Who will tell the president that this same IPPIS, the former OAGF, the former accountant general of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, who is standing trial, that case has no direction as we speak? Who will tell the president that with expensive school fees abroad, now you read in the news that about 15 universities have been forced to lay off staff in the United Kingdom. Do you know why? Because a lot of them actually get their studentship and they get money from Nigerians who are actually running abroad. Exactly. Because who wants to Japan and they are using the basis of what? Education to travel abroad. Now the reality is, with the economic situation, with the fall in the price of the naira, and the fact that the UK is actually tightening, immigration laws. Now, enrollment in such schools are falling. Now they are closing down, they are laying off staff. Some of them will actually be, some of those universities cannot survive without Nigerians, without Africans, without Pakistanis, without Indians. Unfortunately, this is supposed to be an opportunity for us to actually look inwards and develop our own tertiary institutions so that we can save the naira, the pressure on the naira as a result of people trying to run abroad, paying school fees. But who will tell the president that the Nigerian universities actually need his attention in terms of infrastructure development and, the recruitment of staff? Now, who will tell the president that up till today, since June last year, there are no governing councils for our universities, federal universities? The implication is that these universities cannot recruit, these universities cannot organize, the replacement of top management staff in the university. If there is any vice chancellor now whose tenure has ended, chancellor, you can't have a substantive deputy vice chancellor, you can't have substantive registrar, you can't have substantive boss, you can't have substantive librarian. They can only be in acting capacity because it is governing council that can appoint these people, and we don't have governing councils. These universities cannot have their budgets approved. These universities cannot have access to their funds because the governing council that should approve that. Unfortunately, the Minister of Education has usurped the powers of these governing councils and is acting as governing council for all the federal tertiary universities, governing council. That's why the fact that it's actually contrary to the universities. Till now, we don't have, the federal government has just approved the increments in electricity tariff.
Yes.
Now, the federal government claims that it is for band A, customers. Whatever that means, that you are segregating and you are discriminating among Nigerians.
Yes.
That's one. Number two is the fact that they made us understand that it is only probably those industrial areas who companies and the likes like that who enjoy electricity are the ones that will be affected, and that those ones will not complain because they will have more power supply. Now, who will tell the president that federal universities in Nigeria actually belong to band A? Now, do you know the implication? A lot of these universities actually hiked their fees last year so that they can meet up with their overhead costs. Now, these universities, they are on band A. They hiked those fees and charged something minimal, which the students protested because they have to meet up with the cost of running these universities. Now, these universities did that when the price per kilowatt of electricity was 66 naira. Now that has increased from 66 naira to 225 naira per kilowatt per hour.
Wow.
Now the implication is this, that invariably the electricity costs for these universities will triple.
Even more than
it's over 300% increments from 66 naira to 225 naira. Now the implication is, imagine, let me give you an instance, that averagely these federal universities, they spend 1.2 billion naira on electricity cost alone in a year. And unfortunately, The owners of this university is the federal government, and the federal government allocates 150 million naira for overhead costs. Everything, all maintenance costs, not just electricity alone.
Just a million naira.
150 million naira for a year. That is not even enough to pay the electricity bill of University of Lagos for 1 month. As an example. Now imagine, now these universities, if they are running an average of 1.2 billion naira as electricity tariff for a year, now it will triple to about 4.4 billion naira in a year. Now these universities hiked their fees last year, and they charge these students at the rate of 66 naira per kilowatt. Now what would happen for 9 months till the end of it, because they cannot increase fees in the middle of the session? Now what would happen? It means the universities will run into debt, or there will be blackout in the universities for the whole of this year, for the rest of this year. And the universities cannot survive except they hike the fees next year. So the students now should prepare their minds that there will be an increment in their school fees next year to meet up with the cost of electricity. Now what would that mean? That between now and next year, that the universities will probably be in darkness. The same thing like the way it happened for Ahmadu Bello University, like it happened to UCH, University Teaching Hospital.
Yes.
At the topmost of them, University College Hospital or Ibadan, that was disconnected from public power supply, and there was a huge outcry across the country. Now it means that many of these teaching hospitals will shut down again because of this cost of electricity. And beyond that is the fact that now Nigerians that are impoverished already, now they will be impoverished the more by next year, because they will be apart from paying electricity, now they'll have to pay higher school fees next year. So who will tell the president that this policy of his alone would actually cause more poverty, will probably choke the universities the more? And if care is not taken, well, only God knows what would happen.
Indeed.
That's
These questions really beg to be answered by the president.
So I'd like to ask, it's a 2-in-1 actually. So with all of this problem that we have, like it's glaring that we have enough problem. So have people actually like that will talk to do we have people that can talk to the president that will make him see reasons why he should venture into this, and would he like act on them even if it is brought to his attention?
First is, some of these issues need to be brought to his attention.
Yes.
So there are people that are around him. That's why he has advisors. That's why he has ministers. That's why he has heads of agencies. And I think that they are the ones that actually should bring to his attention that, see, you don't just look at the accounting aspect of some of these policies. You're trying to cut costs for the government, but you're not looking at the economic implication, because that's a comprehensive thing. So it's not just a one thing that, we are saving costs for the government. How about the multiplier effect on the economy? How about the multiplier effect on the general well-being of the society, of the masses? So that is that. Then will he listen? Well, I would say that this president has, if anything, has displayed capacity and has displayed compassion, that he listens. He has shown that he listens. And that's why there are so many things that, even look at the student loan thing. Initially, when it was first released and they released the act to the people, and people cried out that, why are you putting this limitation that it's only people that earn, that those that earn about say 50,000 or 500,000 per annum per family. So it means we have a husband and wife that are on a minimum wage of 30,000, they cannot be part of it. So it showed that he listened, and that's why there was a review. So some of these things, so you would see that even with ASU's the payment of some of the salary areas, at least he paid 4 months out of it. It shows that he's listening. Unlike the former president that said no work, no pay, and that was the end. So it shows that he's listening, and I hope that they can bring it to his attention so that he can reconsider and rethink some of these things, and probably act on some of those ones that require his urgent attention.
All right. So still on whether we have people who can really man up to call the attention of the president on all these myriads of problems that we have. How do I put this? Whose duty do you really think it is to call the president to notice? Is it the common man? Is it the stakeholders in the universities? Or who exactly has this duty on them?
Well, there are different people that should actually talk to the president. First is the Minister of Education. Okay. Number two is actually probably those the heads, the administrators of these educational institutions should also find a way to actually communicate with the president. Beyond that is the fact that the president has advisors. And beyond all this, one of those that the institution that actually ought to have the attention, the ears of the president, with all the, especially as it impacts on the well-being of Nigerians, actually the National Assembly, because they're supposed to be representatives of the people. They are supposed to feel the pulse of the people and communicate back to the president that, please, this policy, probably you have to suspend and other things like that. So I actually don't want to take a lot of time. But then I believe that there are different stakeholders that could actually have the attention of the president if he gives them the opportunity to do that. Because unfortunately, the way we run our system, a lot of times we shield some of these people from, getting access to the right kind of information that could guide the decisions they are making.
All right. So a reminder of our short quiz. Which countries colonized South Africa? Don't forget you can set your answer to the WhatsApp number 0809-738-4000, or you can drop it as a comment under our Facebook and YouTube live feeds. The first correct answer wins the prize. Good luck.
Okay, so back to the discussion. Why do you think Nigerian presidents, past, present, seem disconnected from realities of the common man?
Yes, because it seems as if these people
don't
do not
feel
know what
feel.
The hardships that the average Nigerians face.
I think it's a function of the structure of government that we run.
Okay.
And this structure is very, very expensive. And at the end of the day, it allocates a whole lot of things to the, as paraphernalia of public offices, such that they have access to so many things. A lot of them quickly forgets that, some people are actually suffering. They don't have access to it. Imagine that as a president, or probably as a minister or as a governor, you actually don't pay for anything again. No, it's free vehicle, free fuel, free clothes, free accommodation, free, everything you get.
Not just them, even their family members sometimes get everything.
Let me tell you, even
free.
up to domestic aids. No, there is money for everything.
It's just as
so
if
at the end
they are
of the
being
day,
taken
so
out of
see, let me
Nigeria.
tell you, the structure has been skewed against the populace, and that's why you find it that when government wants to do anything that will benefit those in power, there would always be money. But when it has to do with the people, there won't be money to provide that.
What's an
So
irony?
so it's always like that. Then again, is the fact that because of a lot of bureaucracies that you can't have access directly to the president. So many checks, so many people in between that you have to cross before you can have access to the president. So for a lot of them, it cuts them off directly from the people. It only takes someone who is interested in the masses to say, see, I must have an opportunity. I must create an avenue where people can have access to me.
Yes.
It could actually even be, see, former President Donald Trump was very active on social media. And it's someone that follows events on social media. So at the end of the day, he feels what people feel. He understands what people, say. And he responds directly on it. See, he tweets directly.
I think we have the same with our.
See, let me tell you, they only have the handles. They are not the handlers. Let me tell you, even our president, current president, said, I don't go to social media because they abuse me, and I don't go there. He doesn't go there to protect his mental health, so he doesn't go there. So if you have such a person, so what are you saying? It means even if people are shouting, their voice, hoarse, there is no how the president would hear it. And the reality is, a lot of them, I wouldn't even know whether probably they don't read the papers or they don't listen to the news, or probably there is a particular one that they give to them different from what every other person, sincerely. And because, you see, we also have some people whose duty it is to read the newspapers for them and only summarize and tell them. So unfortunately, a lot of times they are shielded from the realities of what is going on.
There's the gatekeeping theory. It is only
God bless
what
you.
they want
Yes,
to know that
yeah,
they know.
absolutely. And for some people too, they're always afraid that if you tell them the right thing, will they not be sacked? So some of these aides too would only tell the
What
president
what
they think they want to hear, not exactly what they should hear. So if I'm a president and I feel like, okay, for me to hear the right thing, I tell them, see, there are people that I need to have among the populace that will give me direct information.
Yes.
Don't filter it. Tell me the way it is. They are abusing me. Let me know they are abusing.
Yes.
Why are they abusing?
Exactly.
Let them say it. So let me hear it. So I would know whether or not they are right. I need to probably change, or I need to reorientate them because probably they don't understand what we are doing.
All right. So the last but not the least question for this edition is: so where do we go from here as a people, and What can we do if the current, the governance structure continues to fail the average Nigerian man, all round?
I think for us, we really need to reorientate ourselves concerning the power of the citizen. And one of the things that we need to activate is the fact that we need to utilize the opportunity of what we call the National Assembly properly. Now, it starts from the quality of people that we actually elect into public offices,
That's it.
especially
So it starts from-
those that represent our interests in the National
the
Assembly.
grassroots.
That's one. Across all levels. National Assembly, State Assembly, local councils. Who are those that represent you? Then, after you have elected them, do you also engage them? Beyond that is we also have the opportunity of social media, at least for now. Let us utilize it. See, put the pressure on them. This is time for governance. This is not time for politics. So be the opposition to the government so that they realize that, this is exactly how you feel.
All right.
So that's all we can take on the discuss segment for today. We would like to appreciate our in-house analyst, Mr. OLUBUNMI KAZEEM, for the beautiful insight he has provided on today's program. We'll go on another break and we're back for this word on the marble.
Please stay with us.
You're welcome to the Words on the Marble segment of Education Today, where we take a look at memorable quotes that are educational and inspirational to everyone. Today, we have a quote from American businessman Warren Buffett. According to him, the greatest investment young people can make is in their own education, in their own mind, because money comes and goes, relationship comes and goes, but what you learn once stays with you forever. I take that again. The greatest investments young people can make in their own education is in their own education, in their own mind, because money comes and goes, relationship comes and goes, but what you learn once stays with you forever. That's our words on marble for today. As young men and women, boys and girls, with or without government, we must realize that we owe ourselves a duty of investing our resources, time, money, energy, and everything at our disposal in our own education. We must continue to add value to ourselves. That would be our greatest investment and ultimately our achievement. So do we have
All right. So we do not have any winner. And the answer to the question is South Africa was colonized by Netherlands and later Britain. So the answer to the question is Netherlands and then Britain. This is to inform you, our esteemed listeners, that you can sponsor this program and advertise your products and services as well as showcase your events on our program. This you can do by calling the numbers 0702 507 4268 or 0703 953 8998. Thank you very much for joining us today. Let us know how you feel about today's program through our various platforms on Facebook /Education Today and on YouTube Education Space Today. You can also send an email to educationmediaservices@gmail.com. Once again, we would like to congratulate one of our crew members, Rashidat Damilola Afuleni, as she convokes today at the National Open University of Nigeria. So higher girl. We also condole with the husband and family of late Zainab Adebisi Abdusalam, a friend of the house who died on Thursday, 11th April 2024. May God bless us soul and comfort our family.
Many thanks to the entire crew of Education Today and management of Light Radio. The supervising producer has been T-Wise, with support from MC Vibes and Felicia. Do join us same time next week on this station. I remain Aisha Hussein.
And I am Nima Ibrahim. See you next week
time.
and
Goodbye.
goodbye.